challenges for the new European Commission.
Yeah, that's right. The new commissioners getting to grips with their new jobs as they begin their first proper week at work this week. President Jean-Claude Juncker has named jobs, growth and investment as the key priorities for his 5-year term as head of the EU's executive arm. Getting results in those areas won't be easy in the current climate, as Thomas Waterhouse explains.
Boosting growth, shortening record queues at job centres and ensuring member states respect tough new budget rules. Just some of the economic challenges facing the new European Commission and its head, Jean-Claude Juncker. And his main weapon of choice is an ambitious investment plan.
From now until February 2015, I would like to develop this investment package. Across the next 3 years, I want 300 billion euros to be made available for public and private investments.
These are funds much needed to reboot Europe's stalling economy, still teetering on deflation. Since 2008, the average unemployment rate has risen from 7 to 10%. It's even reached record levels of more than 24% in Spain and Greece. It came as no surprise then when Juncker chose Athens for his first official trip. With such a difficult climate, the Commission will no doubt have to strictly enforce its new budget guidelines, whilst encouraging reform. A tough balancing act for France's former finance minister, now promoted to Commissioner for Economic Affairs.
There's a question of credibility, of which I am very much aware, and I will use a very simple tool, regulation.
Environmentally friendly growth, the fight against tax evasion and the regulation of banks will also be dossiers to be closely monitored, as will the controversial transatlantic free trade agreement with the US, currently a worry for many citizens across the Union.
We'll look across to China next, where new figures are painting a mixed picture of the economic situation over there.
Yeah, so an official survey of the manufacturing sector released on Sunday shows growth there had slowed in October. We've had a similar Purchasing Managers Index study for the bank HSBC that came out this Monday, showing a slight uptick in growth, but still at a very weak level. On top of that, there's been a survey too of the services sector showing the weakest growth there in 9 months. All of these figures coming after the recent economic growth statistics in the world's second largest economy, showing that growth had fallen to 7.3%. That's below the Beijing government's targets and signs of some worries in the economy.
Well, how's that affecting the markets, if at all?
Well, we've seen the doubts over the Chinese economy sort of cast not too long a shadow in trading today. Any major slowdown in China would be likely to spur the Beijing government into more stimulus spending. So the market's not too worried about what happened there. You can see the Shanghai Composite trading up today. Not such a bright picture, though, in Hong Kong on the Hang Seng or in Seoul on the Kospi. Let's move on now to look at some of the day's other business stories. And Argentina has banned the consumer goods group Procter & Gamble from doing business in the country over allegations of tax fraud. The Argentinian tax authorities claimed that P&G avoided paying duties on goods imported through Brazil. The company is yet to respond to those allegations. The advertising group Publicis is buying the US consultancy group Sapient for $3.7 billion. The deal will help the French firm boost its digital advertising offering as it aims to earn half of its revenues from digital. It comes after Publicis called off a merger with rival Omnicom earlier this year. The beleaguered Italian lender Banca Monte dei Paschi di Siena wants to sell shares to cover its capital shortfall. European stress tests of the world's oldest bank discovered a €2.1 billion hole in its capital reserves. The lender is to seek board approval for the share sale on Wednesday. The French telecoms group Altus is making a €7 billion bid for Portugal Telecom. Altus, which owns the cable and broadband operator Numericable, also recently made an offer for the mobile network SFR. It's offered to buy Portugal Telecom from its current owners, Brazil's Oi.
Right, finally now, the first workers have begun moving into the tallest tower on the World Trade Center site in New York, the one that they call the Freedom Tower.
Yeah, that's right. And they're the staff of the magazine group Condé Nast. The first 175 employees will be going to work in that building. One World Trade Center, as you say, dubbed Freedom Tower. They'll be joined by more than 3,000 of their colleagues eventually from titles including Vogue. They'll be taking up the 20th to 44th floors on the 104-story tower. Vogue editor Anna Wintour will be moving into the 25th floor with her staff, while Vanity Fair will be moving into the 41st floor on the site there.
All right, and plenty more people still to come, I expect.
Yes, many companies, but they're the first private employers to move into the World Trade Center site.
Very exciting times for them. Thanks very much. Stephen, back in an hour's time with more business for you. For now, though, we're going to check what's making headlines online.